Welcome to the Metaphysical Journey. We are a few days into 2024, and by this point, the New Year's resolutions, although they were great when we put them in place, they're pretty much falling to the wayside. The good thing about New Year's resolutions is that it demonstrates that we know what a goal is. We can set a goal. Are we expected to follow it? No. We just have to set it. So congratulations on setting goals. A lot of them you've probably already let go because you realize never drinking anything with caffeine again was not a good idea. So it's okay to let that go. This reading is going to be kind of a mile-high view of 2024, of what the overall year is going to look like for us, or what's the key thing to be aware of that's going to be coming into place. Now, this is very important because 2023, a 7-year, was about going through transformation, making a lot of changes, letting things go, doing lots of shadow work, kind of getting yourself set up and prepared for what was going to come next. And that is 2024, an 8-year. And this is about abundance and success and new things coming into play and just starting kind of over again in a new path or new direction. So this reading has to do with that. Now, before I begin, I want to say, for those of you that are new to my channel and that you don't know me, I'd like to introduce myself a bit. My name's Michael, and I am the person behind the Metaphysical Journey. I live in Arkansas, and I'm pretty happy here. It's a nice place. But I'm a psychic intuitive. I also do mediumship when the situation calls for it. I work a lot with the ancestral spirits, predominantly. But also, I am a former public school teacher. I was a Peace Corps volunteer to Poland, where I taught English and American history. I identify with the LGBTQ community. I'm a certified life coach, and I now work in the public sector where I've been for the past 28 years, and I love what I do. So for all the taxpayers out there, thank you. I love my job. So I just wanted to tell you that. I work with an amazing set of guides that speak to me in a way that resonates with me, meaning it's sometimes really warped. So there's never any telling what we're going to get when I work with my guides, as I do on a regular basis. Very close connection there. I like bright colors. Pink and blue are my favorites. My little family consists of me and a miniature Dachshund named Violet and a 19-pound rescue kitty named Claire. She kind of runs the place, so she's awesome. But I also like to mix and match divination tools and different media to see what I get in readings. I'll be drawn to a particular deck and I'll pull from that, and then I'll be drawn to something else and I'll pull from that as well. And I love to see how it all comes together because it always does. So for the recordings that I do on this channel, I always pull the cards ahead of time. Now, if I'm doing a live reading, of course, I don't do that. But for these recordings, I pull the cards ahead of time, so I have time to really think about it and also make notes. So you will see me looking sometimes down because I'm looking at the notes for the cards that I've pulled. Now, I don't cheat. Honestly, I pull the card and what I get is what I read and what I take notes on. So as a former teacher, if I'm going to present something to an audience, there will always be notes because it helps me stay on track. I tend to digress a lot. You'll see that. Sometimes they're the funniest parts of a reading of where my mind goes and where I tend to follow. So I want to say that my personal philosophy on the metaphysical journey is that we each walk our own unique spiritual path as spiritual beings having a human experience. So there's no right or wrong way. There's just your way. And that's very important always to remember that, because along the path of our journey, each of us are going to pick up and borrow from a variety of sources, traditions, beliefs, philosophies, all of it. We're gonna pick and mix and match that to create something that's authentic for us. So there is no right or wrong way. And there's also no judgment on the metaphysical journey for that. I welcome you regardless of what your background is. My personal background comes from a conservative Pentecostal upbringing, a very loving upbringing, but very conservative, a very structured mindset that just didn't work for me. Fortunately, my parents saw that and they allowed me to embrace my own journey. So I was very blessed in that. But I've been condemned by some of the best, and I'm sure you have as well. So on the metaphysical journey, I never want you to experience that. It doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is or what you currently believe. I support that and I support you. And in the messages that I receive and that I give, I try to always give those in a way that puts the power where it needs to be with you, because ultimately, as a sovereign being, you are in control of your life, and the decisions that you make must be yours in order for those to resonate with you. So I also ask that if my readings help you in any way, or even if you just find them amusing and they give you something to listen to, please subscribe, like, and share. Am I that needy? Yes, I am. But seriously, though, I am trying to build this channel so I can get the messages out to more people. So please consider doing that. So moving on, I mentioned mix and match media, and I want to do that for this reading. What I asked the guides, the question was 2024, what does it look like? What can we expect in relation to what 2023 was? What can we expect? And I wanted to pull a rune. Now, as I go through this, when I edit everything after I do the recording, I put all the cards on the screen so you will see those, but I don't have those in front of me. I just have the regular cards here. So I'll be looking down and referencing those. But to set this off, I wanted to pull a rune. And the rune that I pulled is Rado, or sometimes pronounced Rido, and probably a few other ways. It depends on what county you're from. That's how you're going to say it. But Rado. And this rune is actually, it's perfect because this is about the journey, not necessarily the destination, but it's about the journey that we are on. And 2023 leading into the 2024, this is all part of that. So if in a rune reading, how it would normally work is you would ask a specific question of, I intend to do this or that. Can the runes let me know kind of what the outcome might be? So they're very specific. They answer a question mainly on what your action's going to be and what the potential outcome will be. So along those lines, looking at 2024, what's kind of the potential outcome of it? And it is about the journey. So it's a very positive rune, and so it shows that it'll be successful. So maybe in 2024, if you are thinking about relocating or traveling, this is a great rune to say, yeah, signs are great. It's also about seizing the opportunity and also taking action instead of just waiting for everything to be perfect. We can't do that. And that's going to show up later in the card reading of how there may come a point in the year, if you're not already at that place right now, where you're just kind of overwhelmed and you're feeling stalled and you don't really know how to move forward. So Rado is a rune that says, take action. It doesn't matter necessarily what you can see right now or what it looks like. Take action anyway, because things will play out the way they're meant to play out. So it's about venturing outside of your comfort zone, and that is expected to be a little challenging, but we have to work in order to move forward. If we wait for everything to fall in our lap, it's never going to happen. As you will hear me say, and I've said in prayer readings, and I will say this all the time, there are no spiritual lap dances. You have to work for it, people. It's got to happen. So I pulled from Tarot, and I'm using the Sanctus Concordia deck, a beautiful deck. I believe it's only available from the deck creator himself, and he has a site on Etsy. It's a beautiful deck, Sanctus Concordia. I'm also going to be pulling some oracle cards from a deck called, I have it here in front of me, Messenger of Spirit Oracle by Whitney McNeil. Another incredibly beautiful deck. If you don't have either of those, make 2024 a year to consider buying those, because they work very well together And the imagery on the cards, as you'll see, is just absolutely gorgeous. So your current energy focus going into 2024, and these are two cards. And this is the King of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. Now, Wands, very positive suit. I like that because in 2023, what we were getting, or what I pulled a lot for people, was Swords. It was all about in the head. It was a time of all this inner stuff going on. So now we're in the Wands, and this is about creativity, drive, energy, enthusiasm, willpower, and also outer world activity. So this is very positive. It's making those changes now. King of Wands, if you look at this card, this is a beautiful card. You have a very, very regal person sitting there on a throne, very powerful, dignified, a leader at ease with authority. This represents status, wealth, independence, definitely influence. And in this card, notice that he is looking straight ahead and not being distracted by things on the other side. Now, in Tarot, we look at a lot of cards, and Rider-Waite in particular. You look at where the person on the card, what they're looking at, because in relation to cards around it, it gives different meaning. This one, he's looking directly straight ahead. He's looking right at you. So this card is about you and not being distracted. So as a king, he has overcome the ego and arrogance that maybe the Knight of Wands would have had. So issues that might have challenged him before, he doesn't have that anymore. So this card indicates definitely good fortune coming your way. And this is your energy going in. You are in control here. You've done all this prior work of 23, and now you're sitting on that throne and you're like, you know what? My kingdom, my way, I'm going to move forward with this. So your energy is definitely one of leadership and power moving in. This is amazing. Now, the second card is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles are, the pentacle in itself is a very powerful magic symbol. It's used for protection in some other ways. But pentacles represent the material or tangible things in life, such as, abundance, finances, career, business, power. What you can basically buy, earn, or make falls into that category. The pentacles also can represent physical capabilities and health conditions too. So with 10 of Pentacles, when paired to the King of Wands, what we're looking at is that this shows that home and family are a key focus area for you going into 24. So really think about that, your home and your family, the people around you, however you define family, your core group, this is important for you. And the King of Wands is in that leadership role. So you're stepping up to take charge of some stuff. So it also can mean and represent other things as a part of that. For example, buying or building a new home, or maybe a vacation home, that falls into that. It's bettering your life in some way. And 24 is the year you're saying, I want to manifest that. I'm ready. I'm tired of the way it was. Buying a better car for your family, something that's more secure or safe, because that upgrades the overall situation. Maybe you're looking at sending a child to college. I remember when my brother went to law school, my mother was so happy. Sorry, I digress. But that may be something that you're looking at. Maybe you're thinking about going to college yourself to get more education for a specific skill or a career that you're wanting now to move into because you're ready to make that change. It also could be something as simple as a new wardrobe to match how you feel and see yourself. Now, I said earlier that on the metaphysical journey, there is no judgment. There's one exception, and that's when it comes to wardrobe choices, especially with shoes. People, if you're going to buy a new wardrobe, please make sure you get the right shoes, because you can ruin everything by not having the right shoes. That's a freebie given to you in love and light. Enjoy it. But this is a very happy card and indicates a secure life in business and family life. The hard work is paid off and you've made it. So it's now time to begin enjoying what you've worked so hard to achieve. So this is your energy focus going into 2024. Now, I wanted to pull two other cards that support this. This is kind of the backing energy behind it, what's supporting it. And these are the it's Strength and the Hermit. Now, these are two major arcana cards. This is huge. The minor arcana is like the daily type of things we deal with, but when the major arcana comes out, this means this is big. This is life-changing. This also shows, or I think it shows, that what is going to be happening in 2024 for you is divinely planned and meant to occur. This is big. This is what you've been working up to. So major life event taking place, a total shift actually. So these, the Strength card, so this is about your inner power, persistence, and courage. Now on this card, notice that the lion, so on the Rider-Waite, you have the lady and she's there with the lion. She's kind of holding its mouth, showing that she has strength over that. But this one is different. On this card, it shows the lion. It's not physically there. It's kind of behind her. So it really, to me, represents inner strength and intuition. And intuition is going to play out in this reading quite a bit. It's very important that from this point forward, moving on with what you're going to be taking on, that your intuition has to play a key role. You have to follow your internal navigation system to move forward, to make sure you stay on track. So this is about dealing with the inner struggles that have occurred and or are still possibly occurring. They're still playing out, but with regard to finding your confidence and courage to move forward. Now, the second backing card is the Hermit. And this is about finding your way forward. Now, you'll notice on the cards, you have the lady, she's carrying a lamp and she's walking. On this one, in the Rider-Waite card, you have the Hermit there and he's holding up his lamp and he's kind of looking straight out. Notice this one, she's looking down at the path and behind her, you see that kind of that aura glow and you have little sparkles there. To me, this screams intuition as well. So this is about soul searching to find and remain on your main path. So she's looking down at the pathway. That's where her focus on where she is headed. So this is following that guidance system inside. Also, too, with this card, you have, and the little sparks of light could represent that. These are guides or mentors that are there to assist you. They're supporting you on this journey that you're on. So definitely reach out to them. Have the closest connection possible with your guides as you move forward. In 2024, we are really going to need that as what we're going through. We need them all the time, but in this transition that you are making, really rely on the guides because they're going to give you that. And it also too, it may seem dark at times, that it's just things seem just really dark. You're like, okay, I was rocking and rolling and now everything is like in blackout. What is happening? But know that illumination is there when you ask for it, and that's what your guides will give you. So definitely reconnect and strengthen your connection with your guides. I wanted to pull two going to throw in more mix and match here. I wanted to bring in two Oracle cards from the Whitney McNeil deck. And the first one is Deer. And these are kind of clarifiers, you know, two main tarot cards, two clarifiers for the overall portion of that reading. And this is Deer. And this says, slow down and put on your glasses. Sorry. It says, slow down and give yourself grace. Now, what does that mean? That means that, and this came up at an earlier reading that I did, that this is all new. This is a new thing for you. You're trying something new. You've been working a long time at this to get where you are, and this is new journey for you. You're going into the unknown, the uncharted. Remember that your path is uniquely yours, so there are no roadmaps for any of this. You make it up as you go along. So give yourself some grace and understand that you're going to make mistakes. And don't think of them as mistakes. Just think of them as one more way to move forward. It's like, okay, that way didn't work. Let's try this instead. So you have to keep experimenting and be easy on yourself. Don't be a perfectionist here. And that's hard for many of us. It's like, if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it at all. How many of you have ever gone out to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you buy your plants, where you live, and you see all these beautiful plants and you're like, well, I'd like to buy those and this and that. And you don't do it because you say, I need a plan. I don't have a landscape plan. So there's always something that we put in our way to keep from moving forward. And that's where that perfectionism comes in. It's like, well, if it can't be perfect, I'm not going to do it. And that's where we make a mistake. It's easier to do something, at least as long as it exists, you can always make adjustments to it later. But if you wait for it to be perfect first, it's never going to happen. So give yourself some grace. The second card is the owl, and it says, listen to your inner voice instead of other people's opinions. This is critical where, especially where the intuition comes in, following what you know to be right for you. Everyone is going to have an opinion of what they think you should do. Now, when they tell you these opinions, what I want you to do is stop and look at their life. How are they doing? Does their life represent or exemplify the advice they're giving you? More than likely not. So really don't listen to them. So the owl is wise. And the owl is out at night, and the owl sees things that nothing else can see. The owl can see in the darkness. And so when things seem dark and you're in that hermit mode looking for your place, remember the energy of the owl and be wise and see everything and follow what you know to be right for you. All right, so moving forward, I wanted to pull a couple of other cards. So I thought, well, that's a great reading. This is really fun. Yay. But are there any things we need to watch out for? Is there a potential block that we could have? And I'm happy that I did that because there were some cards that came out. And these were the Four of Cups and the Star. So a potential block, something to watch out for. Now, cups. So we've had pentacles and we had wands. Now we have cups. Still no swords. So we're not going to have swords tonight on this one. So you'll be happy to know. 2024 should be sword free. Yeah. So the Four of Cups. How could this be a block? On this card in Rider-Waite, this is the one where you have a person sitting in front of a tree and you have these cups in front of them and a hand is coming down from the sky. It's like, you know, God is handing them a cup and they're kind of looking at it like, I don't want that. You know, this is a card where it's, you know, cups are all about emotions and feelings. And on this one, it's the Four of Cups. The block could be that you have just too many options to choose from and you're not sure which one to go. So it's kind of a stalled moment. And it's also sometimes this card, it's referred to in different ways. I'm just say stalled. I'm not going to go into some of the other things that people say about it. But you could have too many things to choose from. And it could be an apathy card in a way, you know, having some apathy. But I want to factor something else here that I really pick up from this one. It's that it's not necessarily that the options that you are being presented are not good ones. It's possible that in all of the preparation and planning you've been doing to get to this point in life, you have these goals and you also have in your mind very clear how you expect them to play out. Now, in the Four of Cups in the original card, the hand's coming down from the sky, so it's coming from the divine and offering something, and the person turns their head at it. This could indicate that the way that the divine is presenting things to you is not what you expected. It's not how you anticipated. And so you're not even going to possibly look at it. Don't let that block you because it can stall you from moving forward. If we have, and we all do this, if we have a very clear idea of what we want and how we want it, and if it doesn't come that way, we believe, yep, it's not meant to be. That is not necessarily true. It's that we have blocked things with our own mindset. So be open and be willing to accept and try it, because that could stall you. So this also ties back to the rune of Rado or Rido, and that's leaving that comfort zone and moving forward, even when things don't seem ideal or how you expected them to be. The divine works in mysterious ways. It's wonders to perform. Everything's in divine timing and also divine placement and divine choice. And just know that things come for your highest good. We as humans can only conceive what we can come up with in our brain, and we don't see all the options. We just it's unlimited possibilities, and we see only a few. So don't let this Four of Cups throw you off. Be open. The next one assisting on that one is the Star. This is the card that assists with dealing with the block, and this is the Star. And this is about faith, spirituality, going within and seeking that higher guidance for a way forward. When you're presented with something that you say, not what I expected, I don't know what to think about that. It seems good, but I'm just not sure. And this is the energy of the Star. Things will be illuminated so that you can see them more clearly. Just have faith and believe in that. So that's something to be aware of, to not become stalled because things aren't presenting themselves the way that you think that they should. Try to see the bigger picture and really reach out to your guides, and also go inward and say, all right, is this possibly what I need to do, even though it's not what I expected? So just do that. I also pulled some clarifiers for this one from the Oracle deck. You know, I love my clarifiers. And the two that I pulled were the Seer, and this is really great. And it says, you are seeing things clearly. And you will always see things clearly as long as you follow what you know to be true for you, and that you follow your intuition and listen to your guides. So you are seeing things clearly. They may be presenting themselves to you in a way that you weren't anticipating, but there's something there that feels right. You know it's right, and have the faith to step out there and do it. So the second card is Divine Timing. And this, I would love when this one just reshuffled between the first card and this one came out. I'm like, this is a perfect way to wrap up this thing. Everything happening in 2024 for you is divine timing. Remember the major arcana cards that showed up. This is huge. So it says, it says, let go of your timeline. Spirit has a plan. And Spirit always does have a plan for you. So I hope these cards resonate with you. And if you found them helpful or anything, please leave some comments and let me know. Let me know what you thought about this particular spread. If you watched some of my other videos, you know I do different things. And let me know what you think of this one. Also, remember, if you don't already, please subscribe, like, and share. It would mean so much to me. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being a part of the metaphysical journey. Have a beautiful night. Bye.